continue. Let's continue. Oh my God, we don't stop. Let's continue. Oh, he's coming. Here, Rafael, sit here because you're going to take my job for a few seconds. Let me introduce him the way he deserves. We're going to continue talking about the Hyperloop, urban air mobility, and the new means of transport. For that purpose, we have invited 3 experts. I'm going to introduce the first one of them. He is here with us. He is Rafael Fernández, the Innovation and Digital Strategy Director at Ferrovial. Rafael, lovely to see you again.
Fine.
I was so happy when they told me I was going to be with you on stage. I only see Rafael on stage.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy to have you. Rafa, I know you have 2 more guests. You're going to introduce them in a minute. But in the meantime, and first, let me ask you a question. I have a very long question here about disruptions in the infrastructure and mobility sectors, of course. We just seen one. The ecosystem is moving. Infratech, Constructech are getting attention from VCs. This might have an impact in medium and long-distance means of transport. Ferrovial builds, manages, and operates transport infrastructures, like toll roads and airports. How do you see this time of changes, and what are the disruptions coming up the road? Just tell us about the future.
Okay, thank you, Elena, very much for the possibility to be here and the question and introduction. The world is changing, many things are happening, the environmental trends, the citizen mindset, the environmental challenge, I would say the COVID is also changing everything. At Ferrovial, we have like a dual approach to innovation. In one hand, we look at the really heart and core of our business, trying to include new technologies and to include new processes, materials to make it efficient, to finding a competitive advantage in the short term, but also we look in the long term, 5 to 10 years as well, to understand what is happening, to capture part of the value that is coming, both in the digital and physical sides, because we are sure things are moving, things are happening, and we cannot just look, we have to really understand, right? And this is why we launched, I would say some months back, a couple of really interesting exercise on scenario planning, which is a new methodology. And this is why we try to work with the more brilliant minds in the world, coming from the really disruptive startups that there are many in US, in Europe, in Asia, right? And that is why today we have here two startups that represent the disruption that can happen in the physical world and transportation for medium and long distances. And today we have here Earle from Lilium. He is the Vice President for Launch. And we have also Andrés de León, that is the CEO of Hyperloop Transportation Technologies.
Okay, tell us about them. We can see them there.
Yeah, so really good startups, really good professionals working in those startups. We like very much to have a conversation with them, to work with them. And I would do a couple of or 3 questions to them to enter in the point now. And the first question is for Andrés. There's a hype on Hyperloop. There are investors coming and money, smart money coming into the field. But I would like to Andrés, to let us know what is your thinking about how real is this and what is the value proposition that you are putting in the market?
Thank you, Rafa. Hyperloop is real. It's here. We are the first company that was developed to develop the Hyperloop, and we have 3 projects right now. We have a project in Toulouse. It's the first full-scale Hyperloop system for test and certification, 320 meters. We have a center, for advanced mobility center of 5 kilometers that we have finalized the concept design that will be developed in Abu Dhabi. We've got an Hyperport project together with Hamburg Port. And our value proposition from the beginning was very, very clear. We wanted to create a system that is efficient, and profitable, and also a system that doesn't rely on public subsidies, a system that is sustainable, and increase and improve drastically, the passenger experience.
Thank you, Andrés. And Will from Lilium. In your case, what is the proposition you are putting in the market in order to transform the urban mobility?
Sure. Lilium's mission is really to enable anyone to fly anywhere, anytime. So not only taking the time savings and the elements of a magical customer experience, which we fully agree with you, Andres, as well, but actually taking that and developing through an integrated technology approach. So we design and build not only the aircraft, but also the customer service and the booking platform itself for future urban air mobility. Our aim is really to expand people's radius of life, enabling them to connect between different cities at high speed, but without the requirements of heavy infrastructure investment on the ground, be that road or rail. We aim to do this in a low noise, fully sustainable way as well, so that actually you're able to still do more, to go further, to go faster, but not have such an impact on the environment.
Great, thank you very much. And continuing with you, Will, what has to happen in order urban air mobility to be real in 2024, 2025?
Sure. For us, it's really about three pieces of execution now. On one side, we're certifying the aircraft. We're working through that design and construction of the aircraft itself with European and US regulators. We have some of the top minds from the aviation world on that. And of course, in order for people to accept this service, it has to be proved to be totally safe. So we're absolutely about meeting that standard as well. In parallel, we're building up internally our industrial capabilities so that in a few years we can churn out not just hundreds, but eventually thousands of these aircraft, really being able to address this market across the world. And then, of course, in parallel, we build the market itself. So making sure with partners that there are places to land, making sure that we have the vertiports that we need, and of course, making sure that the operations are in place and that people really understand this concept well, so that they're comfortable getting on this aircraft.
Great, thank you. And Andres, for Hyperloop, right? What are the roadblocks? What should happen? Is regulation, technologies, user acceptance? What are your thoughts about?
Well, technology is already developed. We are ready to build. But of course, we need to build our commercial prototype in Al Khadir, in Abu Dhabi. This is a place where we will demonstrate not only that Hyperloop works, but that works in a reliable way. We work according to the CapEx, OpEx assumptions that we have in our business plan, everything. But the most important thing, of course, is regulation. So, a lot of things are happening right now on that, but definitely we need to continue working on developing that regulation. That is the biggest or the biggest question to address right now.
Great, thank you, Andres. And Andres, what do you think is the role of infrastructure that a company like Ferrovial can put in the table as well?
Well, as you know, because we have talked sometimes, we are building the Hyperloop with the idea of being a network orchestrator. Okay, we are building the technology together with our technological partners, and we want to license that technology to accelerate the time to market to the infrastructure companies and to the transportation companies. So the infra companies will be, in our view, the people that will manage the infra part of the system, like today the airports, exactly the same. And they will be selling slots to companies like Renfe, Iberia, or other kind of companies, that wants to be the transportation operator. In addition to that, we know that Ferrovial has a very, very clear goal to go in innovation and to work, in infratech, and that there are multiple areas where we can collaborate, to develop the technology in this infra world that needs really innovation.
Thank you.
Rafael, we have to finish.
Yeah, Will, last question for you. So what do you think is the role for infrastructure?
Sure, very, very quickly, because I know we're up against it. I think the good news for Ferrovial and for incumbents is that we're looking to work with developers, the construction businesses, those that operate infrastructure as well. Without this infrastructure, without places to land, a service like Lilium, of course, doesn't work. And we think that there's some very exciting businesses, of course, like Ferrovial, who are so focused on innovation that we think there's a huge opportunity to partner in this.
Thank you very much, Will, connecting from Germany, and Andres connecting from Dubai. I think great startups at Ferrovial, we look in the long term, so for us it's key to capture value there, and that's why today we are launching a new platform, ferrovialforesight.com, where we will be including some of our views, of our thoughts about this kind of disruption, Hyperloop, urban mobility, urban logistics, connected autonomous vehicle also will be the platform to connect with the ecosystem. So we call all the startups to come and join us there. Thank you very much.
Excellent, excellent news, Rafael.
Great.
Well, I have to say that's great news. Thank you to Will from Lilium and Andrés from Hyperloop, and of course, Rafael Fernández as Innovation and Digital Strategy Director at Ferrovial. As you can see, he can do my job really well, but I really doubt I can do yours. So thank you.